Do you have a question? Would you like to come and ask me the question?
Do you believe Jesus is the way?
Yes.
Okay, if you believe Jesus is the way, when did Jesus start his ministry? At the age of 30, yes? So who was the way? Wait, I'm coming. My question is,
I'm listening.
who was the way before Jesus started his ministry?
And I told you before.
Look, age 1 to age 30, Jesus never claimed divinity according to you. So when he was 30, he started converting himself into God.
Okay. Are you saying that I don't claim that Jesus is divine?
My question is coming. If Jesus is the way to God, he started his ministry at age 30.
Yes.
Yes. So between age 1 to 30, some people died. Jesus was alive.
Okay.
He never preached them. And also, before he went to heaven, he was denying, ignoring the Gentiles. The Gentiles who died Jesus' time on earth, whilst ignoring them. Who was the way for them? Are they going to hell
Jesus is the word
or
of
to
God.
heaven?
Yeah.
Jesus is the
Wait
word
a
of
moment.
God.
Hey,
Hold on,
Siraj.
come here, come.
Siraj.
Siraj.
Yeah.
Siraj,
He asked me a question, and I'm willing to, answer. Yeah.
What's my question?
The word of God is
So
always
that Jesus is the way,
Yes.
but before Jesus came to earth,
No.
who was or which was the way?
I didn't say that.
Listen, no.
You say that.
He misunderstood.
What about
No,
people?
no. He misunderstood. He's answering something else.
Listen to the answer.
You
Then
can
you
formulate-
answer.
No, I know already. That has nothing to do with my question.
Let him speak and then you come in.
No,
I'm
Shah,
not
what,
missing. I'm
what
not.
did I ask you?
You say that according to me, Jesus is the way.
Yes.
But the question is, what happened to people that were born before Jesus was born? Yes.
No.
Then repeat the
No.
question.
No, I'm gonna repeat for you. This proves Jesus is not the way.
Why?
I'm gonna give you 10,000 pounds.
You don't have to give me
Okay,
anything.
listen. I'm gonna repeat for you. When Jesus was born, I'm talking about. Start from when he was an infant, a baby, until age 30. He did not claim divinity according to them. He was walking around, eating pizza, food, sleeping, going to the toilet. But when he became at the age of 30, Jesus converted into God. Because age 5, he did not claim God. What? Age 1, he did not claim divinity. Age 6, he did not claim divinity. Age 20, same. So age 30, Jesus said, I am God. He converted into God. Okay, fine. But my question to you is, if Jesus is the way, who was the way before he started his ministry? I'm not saying
ministry.
before he was born.
Okay.
I said from age 1 to age 30, people were dying without believing triune God, without believing in Jesus, without anything. Yes, Jesus did not claim divinity at that time. He was not preaching to the lost sheep of Israelite. And there was no Trinity. So who is the way for those who died the period from between when Jesus was age 1 to age 30? And also when Jesus started his ministry, who was the way for the Gentiles? Because he kept ignoring them until he ascended to the heaven. So in this period from age 30 to age 33, Jesus was ignoring the Gentiles. So who was the way for the Gentiles who died in this period between age 30 to age 33? Because they died without believing Jesus. And Jesus was focusing on the Jews, the lost sheep of Israelites. So are those people going to hell? The Gentiles who were ignored by Jesus whilst he was on this earth. That means Jesus is not the way. You understand my point? Are they going to hell or heaven, those guys?
I'm going to answer your question.
What's my question again?
First of all, in order to show people that I'm not going to misrepresent you, I'm going to make it short, but I'm going to say what you have said. So according to him, who is the way when Jesus was just focused on a period of time and in a certain place on earth, and he's implying that the Gentiles couldn't be included in the covenant because Jesus was serving just a small number of people, the Israelites, right?
Yes, okay.
In those years,
so my point
in
is,
the years of his ministry.
Yes. So those people Gentiles in these 3 years, some Gentiles died, yes, because Jesus was ignoring them. They died without believing in Jesus. So if Jesus is the way, those Gentiles who were ignored by Jesus and they died in that way until he ascended to the heaven, are they going to hell or to heaven? Because they died without believing in Jesus.
Now we know. Now we know. Now we know.
Telling me, and Christians can go to hell.
Yeah. Now we know. So, Siraj,
Yes.
am I representing you well? Did I say exactly what you want to ask me?
No, you said the first part, but I was adding the
Yeah.
second part.
Again. So, yeah. So for you, Gentiles, people outside of Israel, weren't included, or possibly they couldn't be saved because Jesus just saved people, Israelites, during his years of ministry. Is
So
that
so in this period, he was not the way for Gentiles.
exactly? He was just.
Thank you. So don't ever
No.
say Jesus is
I'm
the
not
way then.
confirming.
See?
I'm just.
He admitted.
Siraj,
Okay.
Siraj, am I representing you well? What you are asking me? So, how is that Gentiles could be saved or not if Jesus was just focused on Jews and just during 3 years of ministry? Right?
Who was the way for the Gentiles in this
Yeah.
period? And when they died in that period, some Gentiles must die, yes, in,
Okay.
in this period.
Do you think
who
my
was the
Bible
way?
doesn't address that?
Who was the way for them?
So I think you are misrepresenting.
Are you telling me Jesus is the way for everyone?
Yeah,
But at the same time, he ignored the Gentiles specific time. They died without believing in Jesus. Are they going to hell?
No, the one before.
They're going to hell.
No.
They're going to hell, yes. You know why? Because Jesus said,
Because God
I'm
says
the
he
way,
knows-
no one comes to the Father except by me.
Yes,
And the
okay.
Gentiles died whilst they were ignored by Jesus. So
But
is that unfair for them to go to hell? So
Yeah.
Jesus, there was a time where he was not the way there.
Okay, but you are quoting, for example, when you are saying, yes,
I think you're covering.
If you're saying that,
what
It's for you. It's for your friend.
Oh, yes.
Siraj, if you're saying that all the people that died before Jesus are going to hell, if you're saying that.
No, I don't believe that. I'm saying according
That's
to
what
you.
you're saying.
No,
No, but-
according to you. No, I don't believe that. You know why? You know why I don't believe that? Because I believe in Islam, all the prophets are the way to God. So Moses' time,
Yeah, can I-
Moses was the way to God.
can I, and then you can debate him if you want, but just because otherwise I will
I
forget.
think bring this camera here.
I think it's I checked and we are both on the screen. So,
Finish? They finished. Sure.
so you have to take seriously the New Testament in order to make that statement. So you need to have the basis to make that claim. The Bible has to be basically your basis in order to make that claim. So you need to take the Bible to make that thing reliable. So for you, because Jesus lived on a certain period of time, in a certain context and place, therefore your conclusion is that the Gentiles weren't included in God's covenant during that period of time. But I would say that based on the very same book you are using to disprove Christianity or Jesus as the way, you also have to include books like Genesis. In Genesis 3:15, it says that the Messiah, there will be one in the future that will crush the serpent, but will suffer in the process. That's pointing to a suffering Messiah. That was the hope of people. When you read books like in Genesis 22,
You
and
understand my question? You're not
yes,
addressing my
but I'm establishing that the Old Testament pointed that the required faith was faith in the future Messiah for both Jews and Gentiles. So the coming of Christ didn't change the fact that Gentiles outside of Israel could believe in the coming of the Messiah as the basis for their salvation. So Gentiles could be included even though they weren't living in Israel if they hoped for salvation in the Messiah.
So are you saying anyone can practice any religion he wants?
No, they have to believe in the Messiah that was promised to
those
the
Gentiles
Jews.
who were ignored by Jesus and they died in that way. they didn't believe in Jesus. So are you saying, in this case, they will go to heaven or hell?
Were they Jews? Were
they
they
going to hell or
Israel?
heaven?
Were they? If they believed, as
How
many
can
believe,
they believe Jesus? Because
So-
Jesus was ignoring them. He did not preach them.
so,
He said, do not go where Gentiles and Samaritans are.
Where-
Matthew chapter 10, verse 5 to 6.
yeah,
He
when
ignored
Jesus
them.
preached,
So,
tell me a place where Jesus preached many times in the Gospels.
are you getting my point?
Yes, where?
Jesus,
I'm going to build my argument. Jesus preached in the temple, right? Many times. Jesus preached in the
do you
temple.
believe Jesus is the way?
Yes.
If Jesus is the way, it doesn't make sense him to ignore the Gentiles his time on earth. They died without believing him.
Because
Are
you don't
gonna
know,
say they believed in
you
Jesus?
don't know
How
in
can
the
they believe in
message
Jesus?
of the prophets.
He ignored them.
So
So who
no,
was
he
the
didn't.
way for Gentiles and Samaritans and the lost sheep of Israelites before Jesus started his ministry? That means Jesus is not the way to God. And again he said, the Spirit of the truth shall come and guide you into all truth. If Jesus is the way to God, why he needed another comforter to guide you? That means Jesus is not the way again after he left.
Yeah.
Again, Jesus he used parables. Mark chapter 4, verse 11 to 14. He used parables. Do you know what he said? He said, I used parables because I never wanted these people to turn into God, so God could forgive them.
Nope.
So if Jesus is the way, why is he using parables? Just because he doesn't want these people, God, to forgive them.
No.
So Jesus is not the way. Christians always say Jesus
Did he
is the way.
speak when he said that?
Who
Did he
was the way
speak to
Jesus
Jews
before
or
Jesus was born?
to Jews or
That means it's the
to
prophets
Jews?
are the prophets.
So
Every prophet
people,
is the way his time on earth.
when he said those parables,
That's my whole point.
yeah,
Anyways.
when he said those parables, he said those parables to. No.
I'm asking
You know nothing.
4 things to prove that Jesus is not the way. Never. I'm concluding, yeah?
So I'm making clear,
Jesus,
Siraj, I'm making clear.
so are they going to hell or heaven? Christians say they will go to heaven.
He's ignoring me because he sees that he can't answer these questions. Genesis 3:15, the salvation, universal salvation, was prophesied through the one that would crush the serpent, but he would suffer in the process. He doesn't want to address that it was a general statement given thousands of years before the birth of Christ. He doesn't want to address, and Siraj doesn't want to address, that many people, when Jesus preached, he preached in the temple. Who did go to the temple? Jews and Gentiles. Jews and Gentiles went to the temple because they knew that according to the prophets, one day someone will be sacrificed for Jews and Gentiles. That was the hope for Gentiles too. But Siraj, you don't want to hear that. You just want to make a particular question, and when you see me answering and tackling you, running away.
Prophet is the way to God. Who was the way before Jesus?
I don't know, I'm talking to my camera.
People who died before Jesus started his ministry, are they going to hell? The answer I want from Christians, if they say they go to hell, it's unfair.
Just remember, people, that he's no longer talking with me. He's just talking to you because he doesn't want to address.
Only Muslims can go to hell.
Well, you like to say when he's finished or not. Are you coming to?
Yeah, I'm going. I'm about to go down. But some of us are leaving.
But are you gonna go there? So all of you have seen that he doesn't want to listen. You have seen that Genesis 3:15 speaks about salvation in the Old Testament in the very beginning, in the future Messiah. The prophets prophesied salvation for Jews and Gentiles according to a sacrifice that would happen in the temple. And during the times of Jesus, Jews and Gentiles went to the temple hoping for God's salvation. So yes, Gentiles had hope. had hope that one will be the way, and they had that hope even before the birth of Christ. Take
I know
care.
you're not like these guys.
Well, I am me,
What's your name? I forgot.
Manuel. Take care.